Hey, what is going on, guys? This is Dan2468. Today we're going to be doing another Borderlands 2 Legendary walkthrough. Now in today's video we're going to be covering the legendary shield known as the B shield. Now the prefix that I got is the B, but for you it might change. There's an alkaline B, and that one pretty much grants you immunity to electrocute damage. There's also one for every element, but this just so happens to be the one that I got. For you it may change, dictating what the boss may drop. Now, the B shield is an amp based shield, kind of like how the Firehawk shield is Nova. This one is amp. Now, the biggest thing about this shield that is to note is that there's no amp shot drain. And what an amp shield does is it pretty much boosts your overall damage of the weapon that you're using at that time. Now, for your typical amp shield, you're going to have something called amp shot drain, which is seen here. Now for this shield, and which is exactly what makes it legendary, is the fact that it's at a whopping 0. Now on a typical shield that's a amp shield, your shot drain will be about 30 to 60% of the shield's capacity. So an example, let's say the capacity of this was 200,000 and the amp shot drain was 100,000. So what's going to happen is you're going to, at full capacity, which is the only time you'll get the damage from the amp shields, you're going to shoot one bullet or one projectile, and it's going to do an additional 100,000 on top of whatever its base damage is, but you'll lose 100,000 of the capacity. So you'll have to wait for it to recharge back to 200,000 for you to get that damage again. Now, I'm sure you can kind of already tell that the reason the B shield is so good is because you continuously get that damage as long as you stay out of harm's way. The B shield is notably probably best used when you're sniping because you can just stay far away from enemies and you can continuously get that damage drain or damage bonus without having to worry about any kind of drains or getting hit or nothing. Now, to kind of put it into perspective about how good this shield can be. Now again, this is the prefix I get. I think there's other prefixes that actually give you more damage, and parts as well play a part in it. But so kind of as an idea, so this Hellfire does 74,788. With this fully charged, it would do an additional 611,210. So it can be pretty overpowered. The shield itself can. And especially if you combo it with something like the Lyuda, which does significantly more than the Hellfire at 277, 220, and I'm pretty positive this one will put it up to 690,000, somewhere in that ballpark range, just estimating. So almost 700,000 damage will be dealt per shot. Now it's also not just per shot, but it's also per projectile. Now the Lyuda, which is actually a great example, and then the Varuk. Now this weapon has a burst mode that will shoot 3 projectiles per trigger pull. This weapon does as well, but the difference is that it's not labeled on this card as it is on this one. But don't worry, because even though it doesn't have the projectiles labeled on the card, it will still pick up that amp damage. It does not change anything. There's also a legendary shotgun known as the Conference Call. Again, possibly one of the best guns in the game in terms of the shotgun classes. And it has an incredible amount of projectiles that get fired out of it. I mean, it's literally like a hailstorm of bullets out of that thing. And every single one of those projectiles aren't listed, but they will still, get that extra amp damage. So the damage possibilities for this shield is pretty wicked if you think about it. Now, in terms of how to go about getting this shield, you're going to want to complete the main story mission known as This Just In. Rather, it's going to be a side mission. Now, in order to unlock that side mission, you're going to have to unlock this area first, Arid, Nexus, Boneyard. Upon unlocking this area, you can go back to Mordecai and you can get the side mission from him. All it's going to have you do is travel here, pretty much go from here to here, and take a dude out, and then you're done. That's how simple the mission is. There's no collecting evidence or nothing like that. Now the farm itself only takes about 20 seconds once you complete the mission and actually get the ball rolling on it. It's also good to note that Hunter Hellquist has a 10% drop chance. The tree ants off of the Tiny Tina DLC can also drop this shield. They have a 10% drop chance. Master Gi, the Invincible, has a 1.75% drop chance, and this one in particular I would definitely not recommend, especially with Master G as well. But the final place that it can drop from is also the Handsome Sorcerer, which is the final boss for Tiny Tina's, but it's at 0.3%, so that's just going to kind of be luck of the draw in terms of that drop. But anyway, so pretty much how the farm goes is exactly how the mission is going to have you go. You just jump in a vehicle, you drive to the base of this radio tower. And it's also good to note too that even though this switch is red, it's still 100% operational. I mean, this farm is really quick for what it is. And then you just take them out and you're done. And that's pretty much the farm. But also, as like a little side note, you do get some pretty high level loaders that will spawn back here in terms of like the tier of the enemy difficulty. So it might be a good idea, you know, if you're a little bit under leveled or a little bit behind as compared to the base sword mode, that you take these guys out too, because this can be a good little XP farm for just a little while. Not, you know, an overwhelming amount, but just enough to get you caught up. Now, if this video was informational or if it helped you find, you know, the right pieces to your build, I hope that you know, please would feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and have a good day.